Jai Guru, my dear affectionate brother. Firstly, I convey my heartiest love, affection, and Jai Guru to you and all of you. Hope you are doing your spiritual practice accordingly at the grace of our Supreme Father. Now, you have placed a question before me regarding the awakening of Kundalini Shakti or Kundalini power or deep concentric libido towards the realization of supreme cause. Now, I have to discuss according to Sri Thakur 𝐼𝐴𝐚𝐭𝐚𝐬𝐴𝐴 as he said in a brief. At first, we have to know in the spiritual world, especially in India, from the ancient time, there are so many processes for the awakening of Kundalini power or Ladini Shakti or Yogic Shakti. There are so many processes in the school of Yogic process, Tantric process, etc. etc. In Yogic process, there are so many methods. In Tantric process, according to Tantric Guru, there are so many processes, mainly Vamachari and Dakshinachari process. But so far I know, I have discussed with different type of scholars and authorities regarding Tantra and Yoga, and I have already seen the practitioner of yogic process and tantric process. But this process is very difficult in its true perspective, as well as it is very dangerous if it is not observed by proper realized guru. I know different types of sadhaks or practitioners who used themselves according to their intention and take themselves in a danger zone, that is physical and neurological problems they invited. I have seen it. So, what is the easiest process according to this era, that is in Kali Yuga? Because every human being is very busy according to their burden, work, thoughts, etc. etc. And their span of life is very short. So there is no sufficient time to practice such yogic or tantric process. Therefore, Purushottam Sri Anukul 𝐒𝐚𝐭𝐚𝐬𝐲𝐶, according to this era, according to this age, which process given by him, that is Surat Shabda Sadhana Yoga, it is the easiest process. Why? We have to know first what is Kundalini, what is Ladini, what is yogic energy, and what is the necessity, awakeness of this Kundalini power, the source of all human beings and all the material world. In a nutshell, total universe. The source is the supreme intelligence, supreme cause, supreme Father, God, Brahma, Paramatma. Everything may be told. That is same in a word. The supreme cause, that is defined as Supreme Father or Parampita, etc. etc. According to the spiritual practice given by the embodiment of the supreme cause, supreme intelligence, which we may call the prophets, avatar, Purushottam, etc. etc. The latest prophet, embodiment of the supreme energy, supreme consciousness, supreme intelligence, that is Purushottam Anukul 𝐶𝐚𝐽𝐽. He gave the Shat Nam, or what we called Bij Mantra. Then what is Bij Mantra? According to Purushottam Anukul 𝐶𝐚𝐽𝐽, he defined Bij Mantra such as the mechanical composition of a vibration through which the creation is created, that is Bij Mantra. Now we have to know it clearly that the Bij Mantra is not only a combination of some alphabet. Behind it there is a supreme causal vibration. Also the scientists, they are saying equal to which Purushottam Anukul Chanda told. The universe created all the matter from the varieties degree of vibration. In our Rishi demonstrated in Shastras, that is Nad Evo Brahmo, Shabda Evo Brahmo. In Bible, it is said, in the beginning there was word, then which word? The causal vibration, ultrasonic vibration. The alphabetic form of that vibration is Bij Mantra. Now, how to practice it? The prophets and the realized person who he knows realized that supreme cause, the supreme intelligence, manifestation of that supreme cause, that supreme intelligence, we call them prophets, avatar, etc., Purushottam, etc. Here is the only one easiest thing. By concentration of our mind in all respect, with all passions, all complexes, all addiction, anything may be, we should first concentrate in a point to that supreme cause, the supreme father, embodied in human being, that is Purushottam, the latest embodiment of the supreme cause, that is Purushottam Anukul Chanda. Then the Kundalini Shakti or power or Ladini Shakti or Radha Shakti or yogic power or libido. Libido, the word framed by world famous psychologist Sigmund Freud. He defined the libido as primitive urge. Purushottam Anukul Chanda explained it as a urge of unification, that is cohesive urge. That urge of unification or cohesive urge, it is the inherent instinct of the human being. This urge of unification, cohesive urge, belongs to every human being, that is libido, that is Kundalini, that is Radha Shakti, that is Ladini Shakti. But it is attached with different types of thinking or materialistic everything. So we cannot understand the concentric power of that cohesive urge. Here is the mystery. Therefore, the devotion, the dedication, that is bhakti yog, as per Gita, which Thakur also said, it is the best and only way. We can take some very simple example. What is mind concentration for the awakening of Kundalini power? When a perfect footballer used himself to practice very difficult angle from the difficult angle, he can put the football towards the goalpost. How is it possible for him? Day after day, by the deep concentration, according to physical practice, he can achieve the perfect footballer who can put the ball from difficult angle to the goalpost. When he can penetrate his mind to the extreme concentration, then that success he can achieve. In every sphere of life, we can see it. In music field, in education field, in scientific research field, varieties, different fields maybe. Every person, when reach or achieve the optimum level of success, it is, we can tell that is the power of Kundalini, that is the awakening of the cohesive urge or urge of unification, which concentrated in a pinpoint and also pick-up point. That devotion is the key point of the success. That is, we call Siddhi Labh. In spiritual field, the same process acts accordingly. In our human body, the spinal cord, it is very important, where the spinal cord containing the cerebrospinal fluid, medical science it is proved. Then cerebrospinal fluid, in that cerebrospinal fluid, the electromagnetic wave always flowing upwards and downwards. Maximum when we attached with our passions, complexes, then the flow of that vital energy, that electromagnetic force, that is libido, tendency of flow, it is downwards flow. Simultaneously, then the lower part of the brain cells, activities, which activities, by that activities we are thinking about in a word how to fulfill our passion, addiction, complexes, so that our Kundalini power or cohesive urge or urge of unification or libido is attached with that type of different our passion fulfilling agents. So we deprived ourselves from the deeper sense of that supreme consciousness or the realization of God or the realization of the supreme cause, Paramatta, Brahma, etc., etc. There is some chakras in our spinal cord. Everything knows it. Muladhara, Shadhisthana, Manipur, Anahato, Vishuddha, Agga Chakra, Sahasrara, etc., etc. Anatomically, physiologically, it is called or defined as a lumbar plexus, epigastrium plexus, cardiac plexus, medulla plexus, cerebral plexus, etc., etc. That is the junction of our nervous systems of the human body. The yogic or tantric guru, realized guru, they teaches their disciples how to penetrate that chakras separately and gradually. Very difficult process. Therefore, Purushottam Anukul Chandra started at this era from the Agga Chakra practice. That is from the cerebral plexus, the third eye point. In that point, they are situated pineal gland and quite opposite situated pituitary gland. These two glands is mysterious glands. The chemical hormone secretion of the pineal gland and pituitary gland in regulated way take a great part for the awakening of Kundalini energy or Ladini energy or Radha Shakti or libido, etc., etc. In a short term, the practice of repetition and utterance of the holy name that given by Purushottam Anukul Chandra, with deep love and deep concentration, with that intensity of urge of unification. The term intensity or tenacity, it is the most important for the success of awakening of the Kundalini. When a man lifts heavy weight, automatically, spontaneously, his mind concentrated to lift that heavy weight. It is the pointed concentration. In spiritual practice, that type of intensity of the concentration is very, very essential. In other words, it is explained that the libido or Kundalini, it is a sexual urge which is defined the urge of unification. When human being engaged in sexual urge or biological unification, behind that biological unification, there acts that urge of unification which we call sex urge, that is libido. That intensity of urge of unification which awakened in that time the physical unification, both the male and female, that intensity of urge is the only way to success perfectly, to awakening the Kundalini Shakti accordingly in its true perspective. That intensity of that urge should be pointed towards our Sadguru Purushottam at present age. It is the mystery, the success of spiritual success or realization or penetrate that chakras, lumbar plexus, epigastриum plexus, cardiac plexus, medulla plexus, cerebral plexus, etc., etc. Then that the Bij mantra, the ultrasonic sound vibration can act in supreme level, the cerebrum of our brain, that is Sahasrara chakra. Then by the practice of with that intensity, with the repeating the holy name, the automatic stimulant of our auditory and visual nerve excited, stimulated, and due to that our power of vision, power of foresight, insight enhanced, increased in 100 times. That is the yogic power, vibhuti, what we can call, what it is defined. So, in a nutshell, we take an conclusion that the intensity of our urge of unification, cohesive urge, it is the most important things which acts as bhakti yoga, is the only way to the spiritual success in optimum level by the awakening of Kundalini Shakti or Radha Shakti or Ladini Shakti or libido, anything may be called, that is the same, to penetrate all the chakras of our spinal cord and simultaneously the excitement of our audio-visual centers of the cerebrum. It is the only way, easiest way, following the Purushottam demonstrated the easiest spiritual practice for the evolution of human being from the passionate, obsessed mankind towards the pure and supreme knowledgeable, the Sant, the saint, the divine man, divinity with the supreme knowledge. It is the easiest way of evolution at this age. It is so easiest process. An 8 years old to 80 years old, any human being can follow it accordingly, and by this easiest process, depending on the intensity of urge of unification, cohesive urge towards Sadguru Purushottam, he must success according to his inherent instincts to the optimum level of the spiritual knowledge or Brahmogyan, which may be called. It is guaranteed by Purushottam Anukul Chanda, but it is practice oriented according to properly guided by him. Following repeatedly, he told that intensity of the urge of unification, it is the root and it is the mystery of the awakening of Kundalini and achieve the topmost supreme spiritual knowledge, the root of evolution of human being. So we hope that the process demonstrated by Purushottam Anukul Chandra, it should be accepted by every human being, irrespective of caste and creed. And following this process, we must reach the supramental layer and must invite a super conscious level civilization, which is very and very essential to establish the love and peace in everywhere, in all respect. Be blessed, all of you, and be blessed all of his sons of Parampita. It is my heartiest prayer to the Supreme Father. It is my heartiest prayer. Jai Guru, Vande Purushottamam.